What does the fact that Jace's pregnant girlfriend is really pissed at him have to do with the fact that you always need to pee a lot when you drink beer? Well, that's what we're going to look at in this video. The answer to the question is, in both cases, hormones are to blame. The human hormonal system is responsible for the transmission and release of hormones. So what exactly are these hormones? Basically, they're biochemical messengers. They're just like the postman. They bring messages or information. They're produced by certain cells and they have a specific recipient. They work by the lock and key principle and cause a specific cell response at the receptor. In other words, they are headed for a particular place. Just like the package that Jace ordered is officially addressed to him. That is, his neighbor cannot take it because his name isn't on it. If the hormonal system or even the postman is confused, it can cause problems. Where do hormones come from? They are mostly made in glands. Here's a small overview of the most important hormonal glands in the human body. There's the adrenals, the testes, the ovaries, the thyroid, the thymus, the pituitary, the hypothalamus, and so on. They are then released by paracrine secretion to the immediate extracellular environment or by endocrine secretion into the bloodstream. From there, they will reach their target cells. But there's also autocrine signal transmission, in which the cells produce hormones which affect the very cell making them. If we look at the structure, we can identify two different types of hormone: peptide hormones and steroid hormones. Peptide hormones are peptides that are built from several amino acids, depending on how many peptides it has. We also call them protein hormones because of their protein structure. They are lipophobic, so they love water and avoid fats. The cell membrane only has limited permeability, so these hormones can't pass through so easily. But there are specific receptors in the membranes of the target cell. When the hormone encounters these receptors, it binds and activates the second messenger system. Then, this passes on the signal to the inside of the cell. Let's look at two examples. Glucagon acts to increase the blood sugar level. It's made in the pancreas, released into the blood, and taken up again by the liver. The liver then releases glucose and the blood sugar level increases. So, if you've just shoved a Snickers down your throat, glucagon delivers the message to your liver, raise the blood sugar level. On the other hand, insulin is the antagonist, or its rival, and brings the blood sugar level down. After the Snickers, insulin stimulates cells to absorb glucose out of the blood. The liver cells and muscle cells are particularly good in absorbing a lot of glucose in response to insulin, which is then stored as glycogen or converted into energy, as is the case with muscles. Then we also have the steroid hormones. They work differently from peptide hormones. We'll talk about what exactly happens with those in the next video. But before you jump into that, here's the key points one more time. Hormones are biochemical messengers sent through the body like the mail. Each one is formed in a different place. They are then released by paracrine secretion to the immediate extracellular environment, by endocrine secretion into the bloodstream, or they act autocrinally in the cell producing them. We differentiate between peptide hormones and steroid hormones. Peptide hormones are lipophobic and so bind to receptors on the outside of the cell membrane. They then bind to the receptors in the cell, following the lock and key principle. For those of you who still want to know the answer to the question at the start, you shouldn't miss the video about steroid hormones. There's also a whole lot of cool exercises about this on our website, and of course, in the app.